A very good afternoon to one and all. Welcome to class 12th Economics. This is the revision class for the chapter Government Budget. A small chapter in boards comes for 6 to 7 marks, and important chapter, one of the important chapter, because it will definitely increase your marks. So let us just start with the meaning of budget only. Let us revise from the basic, that what is the meaning of budget. So when we have to define that what is meant by budget, so we simply define that budget is an annual financial statement. Budget is an annual financial statement. Annual means yearly we make the statement. Financial means it is a financial statement which involves the expenditures and revenues of the government. That means for a year, whatever revenues the government will be generating and whatever expenditures government will be incurring, all these expenditures and revenues are written in a financial statement for a year, and that financial statement is known as a budget. The second question arises, are the expenditures and revenues which are written in budget would be the actual? Would the expenditures and revenues written in the budget will be actual? The question is no. Answer is no. These are not the actual, because the actual may be different, may differ. Why? Because we are just making the budget on advance basis, that in this year I'm going to spend this much, in this year I'm expecting this revenue. That means that is only expected revenue and expected expenditure. The actual may be different. Now the second question arises, what are the objectives of government budget? What are the objectives of government budget? Which means that why do we make budget or why do we prepare budget? हम budget क्यों बनाते हैं? क्या objectives हैं budget को बनाने के? What are the objectives or why do we make budget? The answer is clear. We make budget to have the economic growth, for better allocation of resources, for redistribution of income and wealth, for balanced regional growth, for employment opportunities, and for economic stability. So you have to learn almost 4 objectives at least. That we make budget because of various objectives, where we are taking the very first objective to be economic growth. Economic growth means if you want that your economy should grow, then definitely in the budget only we are going to have all the information regarding the economy, related to the economy, that how we are going to boost up our economic growth, what will be our policies and plans for the boosting up of the economic growth, and that is written in the budget only. Same way, through the budget only we try to redistribute the income and wealth, or we try to reduce the gap of rich and poor, because through the budget only the taxes are being levied, that what amount of taxes we are going to levy in our economy, and who people will be there who will be getting the subsidies from the government, so that the tax is basically collected by the government, the income is collected by the government, and government will definitely take that income into consideration of providing the subsidies to poor people. Will take the help of that income and will provide the subsidies to poor people. So ultimately we have to just learn the objectives of making budget. This is really very important question. The reduction of inequalities of income and wealth, or redistribution of income and wealth, economic growth, economic stability, these are actually important objectives. Then reallocation of resources. What is in the reallocation of resources? Means how government is going to reallocate the resources. That is also through the budget only. Which means in the budget only government is going to spend the money on subsidies or on any social service or any required service for the poor people. So ultimately government is going to reallocate the resources, which means government is generating the income from one source and government is going to reallocate that income on the other source, and that will be done with the budget only. So on the whole we can say that budget is the financial statement which is made for a year and which records the income and expenditures of the government. On the other hand, we can say that government budget is made for following these objectives, because these objectives are actually very important. Government makes budget so that government can know about that what income government is going to achieve and how that income government is going to spend on the consumption or on providing the subsidies to various poor people, so that the reallocation of resource can be done. Same way, government is basically going to stabilize the economy also through the budget, which means if government wants that there should be cut in the bank rate, there should be cut in the CRR, LRR, or any other such thing, government is going to provide through the budget only. Take the recent example, the recent life example of COVID-19. In that recent time, government has introduced a new separate budget for lockdown. Remember, 20 lakh crores package. That package is through the budget only. The finance minister presented that budget, that package. So that is through the budget only. वो budget से ही आया है package, where government just want to reduce the inequalities of income and wealth through the package introduced in the budget itself. So that's why the budget is made. Same way, if government wants to stabilize the economy, if government thinks that there is a lot of inflation in the economy going on, or the economy is suffering from the deflationary pressure, then government want to stabilize the economy. In that case also, government is going to present the budget only and stabilize the economy. All right. Okay. Then moving further, structure of budget. The budget has two major components: budget receipts and budget expenditures. Budget receipts means when we say the amount of income that government is going to generate, that is budget receipts, and budget expenditure is the amount of expenditure that government is going to spend, that is the budget expenditures. Budget receipt में दो points आते हैं, revenue receipts and capital receipts. Revenue receipts and capital receipts. Capital receipt मतलब एक साथ ज्यादा पैसा आना, यानी कि या तो asset sale हुई होगी या liabilities increase हुई होंगी. Which means capital receipts are those receipts which either increases the liability or reduces the asset. लेकिन revenue receipt regular nature पे थोड़ा थोड़ा पैसा आना, ना तो liability increase हुई ना ही asset reduce हुई, तो capital वाले से याद रखने आपने. Then budget expenditure, which is again of two types: revenue expenditures and capital expenditures. Capital expenditure एक साथ बड़ा खर्चा, मतलब या तो मैंने कोई एसेट बाय की है, दैट मींस देयर इज इंक्रीज इन एसेट, और मैंने अपनी कोई लायबिलिटी खत्म की है, व्हिच मींस देयर इज रिड्यूस इन द लायबिलिटी. सो कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर्स आर दोज एक्सपेंडिचर्स व्हिच ईदर क्रिएट्स द एसेट ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट और रिड्यूसेस द लायबिलिटी ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट, whereas revenue expenditures are those expenditures which neither affect the capital, which neither affect the asset nor liability. So रेवेन्यू रिसीट एक साथ थोड़ा थोड़ा पैसा मिलना, रिसीव होना, which means the money receipt of the government which neither reduce any asset nor create any liability for the government. For example, tax receipts and non-tax receipt. As in the revenue receipt of the government, we have two types of receipts: tax receipts and non-tax receipts. Where we know about the tax receipt, the income which is generated in the form of taxes, that is the tax receipts of the government. For example, income tax, corporate tax, estate duty, gift tax, custom duty, GST, which means that tax can be either direct or indirect, but actually the tax receipts are the revenue receipt, whether through the direct or indirect. But non-tax receipt matlab it is the revenue receipt, no doubt, but not in the form of taxes, can be in the form of fees and fines. Like government gets a lot of fees and fines also, like fines and penalties are imposed on lawbreakers, challans are imposed. Same way, different kind of fees is charged from the people, like OPD fees. With the OPD fees, we have the other things, other fees, for example, license fees, passport making fees, right? Education fees, which is the tuition fees. Same way, any other fees can be there. Then special assessment, SCHET, income from PSUs, income from sale of spectrum like 3G, 4G, then grants or donations which government is getting. So this is all revenue receipts. इन ये receipts एक तो छोटे amount की होती है. Secondly, it is of repetitive or recurring nature, repetitive nature, which neither create any receiving that means which neither create any liability, will not reduce any asset of the government. Now the taxes are of two types. We have studied ना अभी पीछे taxes दो तरह के, direct and indirect. Direct taxes will be whose burden and liability to pay a tax falls on the same person. When I say that liability to pay and the burden also falls on the same person, that is the direct tax. Whereas indirect tax will be the liability to pay is on one person and the burden falls on the other person. That is indirect tax. For example, GST is indirect. Liability to submit or pay the tax is on the shopkeeper, on the service provider, but ultimately the burden of tax falls on the customer. So that is the indirect tax. But direct tax is like income tax, corporate tax. Liability to pay the tax is on Mr. A, as well as the burden cannot be shifted to other. Mr. A only will be sharing the burden of that tax. So that is ultimately the direct tax. You know, direct taxes are progressive in nature. For example, it increases with the increase in slabs. Like we have that till 2,50,000, there is no tax to be levied. From 2,50,000, 1 to 5 lakh, particular tax will be levied. From 5 lakh to 8 lakh. So this way, this is progressive in nature. But indirect taxes are regressive in nature. जो indirect taxes होते हैं वो regressive होते हैं nature में. Regressive मतलब as more and more amount you are purchasing, you have to pay less tax because you will be getting the discount also. Now, direct taxes, as I told you, paid and borne by the same person. Indirect taxes, basically paid and borne by the different persons. Generally progressive in nature, direct taxes, and indirect taxes are regressive in nature. The examples of direct taxes we all know: income tax, corporate tax, wealth tax, house tax, gift tax. But examples of indirect: GST, custom duty, entertainment, that's all. Now we talk about the capital receipt. Capital receipt means अब एक साथ बड़ा पैसा मिल रहा है, यानी कि गवर्नमेंट ने या तो कोई एसेट सेल की है या फिर कहीं से बोरो किया है, लायबिलिटी राइज हुई है, which means the money receipt of the government which reduces any asset of the government or increases the liability of the government, that is known as capital receipt. For example, disinvestment, मतलब गवर्नमेंट ने अपने शेयर्स बेच दिए, so that is reducing the asset of the government, but because money government को एक साथ मिल रही है ज्यादा, that is the capital receipt. Recovery of loans, of course loan recover हो गया, लोन दिया था तो that was the asset, दिया था लोन, ग्रांट किया था, बट लोन रिकवर हो गया, मिल गया वापस, तो वो क्या हो गया आपका, एसेट कम हो गई, दैट इज द कैपिटल रिसीट. सेम वे डोमेस्टिक बोरोइंग्स बाय गवर्नमेंट और इंटरनेशनल बोरोइंग्स, जो बोरोइंग्स आपकी हैं, दैट इज आल्सो क्रिएटिंग द लायबिलिटी, तो वो क्या होगा आपका, दैट विल बी द कैपिटल रिसीट. देन रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर्स. रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर्स मतलब वो एक्सपेंडिचर गवर्नमेंट के विच नीदर इंक्रीज इन एनी एसेट ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट नॉर रिड्यूसेस एनी लायबिलिटी ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट, जो ना तो गवर्नमेंट की एसेट को इंक्रीज करते हैं और ना ही गवर्नमेंट की लायबिलिटीज को रिड्यूस करते हैं, उसको भी बोलते हैं हम रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर्स. मींस जो रेगुलर नेचर के खर्चे हैं जिससे ना तो एसेट पे कोई फर्क पड़ेगा ना ही लायबिलिटी पे कोई फर्क पड़ेगा, लाइक सैलरी एंड वेजेस टू गवर्नमेंट स्टाफ, रेगुलर नेचर का खर्च है. स्कॉलरशिप, इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट, expenditure on subsidies, old age pension, defense expenditure, then grants to state government for natural calamities like flood and earthquake. आपने देखा होगा पीछे जब अभी गवर्नमेंट ये फ्लड आए थे उसमें असम वगैरह में, तो वेस्ट बंगाल में, असम में जब पीछे तूफान वगैरह भी आया, स्टॉर्म वगैरह, तो पीएम मोदी ने फ्रॉम सेंटर फंड 1000 करोड़ वगैरह जो है सब लोगों को, इनको स्टेट्स को दिया था as a grant. So that is also the revenue expenditure. जबकि कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर जो एक साथ बड़ा खर्च हो रहा है, एक साथ बड़ा खर्च होने का मतलब है सीधा सीधा या तो आपकी लायबिलिटी सीधा सीधा बढ़ रही है, सॉरी एक साथ बड़ा खर्च हो रहा है यानी कि या तो आपकी एसेट बढ़ रही है बिकॉज यू आर गोइंग टू बाय द एसेट, या आपकी लायबिलिटी रिड्यूस हो रही है. फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने कोई कहीं से एसेट बाय कर ली गवर्नमेंट ने, तो वो आपका डेफिनेटली कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर में ही होगा. यहाँ रीपे कर दी लायबिलिटी तो वो भी आपका कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर है. ठीक, तो रिमेंबर बजट एक्सपेंडिचर इज अल्टीमेटली रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर प्लस कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर, जबकि बजट रिसीट्स होती हैं रेवेन्यू रिसीट्स प्लस कैपिटल रिसीट्स. बजट डेफिसिट का मतलब है बजट एक्सपेंडिचर माइनस बजट रिसीट. ध्यान रखो, बजट एक्सपेंडिचर माइनस बजट रिसीट, दैट इज द बजट डेफिसिट. और बजट एक्सपेंडिचर मतलब दोनों का टोटल, रेवेन्यू प्लस कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर. और बजट सरप्लस क्या होगा? व्हेन वी से दैट बजट रिसीट्स आर मोर देन द बजट एक्सपेंडिचर. ऑल राइट, now after that we have budget deficit, plan and non-plan not in syllabus. Budget deficit, budget deficit means I told you budget expenditure minus budget receipts. Three types of deficits are there where you have to just know one line meaning and for that formula only, nothing else. Revenue deficit, when we say that revenue expenditure is more than the revenue receipt, that comes out to be the revenue deficit, यानी कि revenue expenditure minus revenue receipts. Fiscal deficit, fiscal deficit मैंने आपको बताया था total budget expenditures minus total budget receipts excluding borrowings, because ultimately borrowing is the fiscal deficit, which whatever you are borrowing. Then primary deficit, primary deficit will be simple as जो हमने पीछे निकाला, that is fiscal deficit minus interest payment. आपने तीनों के डेफिसिट में you have to just learn one line of definition and its formula, nothing else, because implications and all are not in syllabus now. Just have a look at the numerical. You have to find out the fiscal deficit and primary deficit from the following, where given is revenue expenditure 70,000 crore, borrowings 15,000 crore, revenue receipts 50,000 crores, and interest payments 25% of revenue deficit. 25% of revenue deficit. This is given to us in the question, and question is asking to now find out the fiscal deficit and the other fiscal deficit and primary deficit. See, सबसे पहले तो definitely we can impute the revenue deficit, which is the revenue expenditure minus revenue receipt. Revenue expenditure are given 70,000 minus revenue receipts are also given 50,000. तो सीधा सीधा 20,000 तो हमारे पास आ गया, सीधा सीधा revenue deficit. Interest payment के लिए question ने कहा है 25% of revenue deficit. तो interest payment can be easily, जो revenue deficit निकला उसका 25% निकाल लेंगे. अब निकालना है fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit होता है आपका total deficit, total expenditure minus total receipt excluding borrowings, यही होता है. लेकिन फिजिकल डेफिसिट और बोरोइंग एक ही चीज है. जब क्वेश्चन में बोरोइंग्स आपको 15,000 दिया है तो वही आपका क्या हो जाएगा? फिजिकल डेफिसिट. ठीक, एंड प्राइमरी डेफिसिट विल बी ऑफ कोर्स फिजिकल डेफिसिट माइनस इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट. फिजिकल डेफिसिट आपका आया था, ऊपर दिया हुआ था बोरोइंग्स 15,000 माइनस इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट हमने निकाल लिया था 5,000, तो 10,000 विल बी दी प्राइमरी डेफिसिट. Two types of budget are there, balanced budget and unbalanced budget. Balanced matlab where the government's expenditures are equals to government's revenue, whereas unbalanced budget means where we say that either the expenditures are more or receipts are more. Now tell me, if suppose expenditures are more than the receipt, what will happen in that case? If I say that expenditures are more than the receipt, then in that case what will be calling that? If budget expenditure are more than budget receipt, of course deficit budget. And if budget receipts are more than the budget expenditures, receipts ज्यादा है expenditure से, then it will be the surplus budget. Good. No detailing you have to do, because as again it is not in syllabus now, merits and demerits. You have to just go for the meaning only. So let me tell you once again that what is the structure of budget. When we have to define what is the structure of budget, we simply say that the budget is divided into two parts. Two parts are there in the budget, that is budget receipts and budget expenditures. Again, budget receipts are basically divided into two parts, revenue receipts and capital receipts. Budget expenditures are divided into two parts, revenue expenditures and capital expenditures. Capital वाले पे बेटे हमेशा ध्यान रखना, it affects either of the asset or liability. But when we talk about the revenue nature का concept, it neither affect the liability nor affect the asset. Revenue वाला वो ना तो asset को affect करता है ना ही liability को. Then we have the revenue receipts, which are in the form of tax receipts and non-tax receipt. Tax receipt means the income generated in the form of taxes, and non-tax will be the income other than in the form of taxes, जिसके अंदर fees, fines and ये सब चीजें उसके अंदर मिलती हैं. ठीक है? Then direct taxes and indirect taxes, two types of taxes are there, which we have studied. Capital receipt. Can you tell me the examples of capital receipt? As you can see, capital receipts मतलब जहाँ पे एक साथ ज्यादा पैसा मिल रहा है. Sale of public sector undertaking, recovery of loan, disinvestment, borrowings. These all are the capital receipts. Okay. Now I'm just taking your doubts. Please write in the chat box regarding any doubts you have.